Well, here we are. 6 years since I rebooted my channel back in high school, and 10 years since I uploaded my first ever video. Which, yes, is now completely lost to time. As are many from before 6 years ago, and even after. But either way, damn, what a year. So many things happened. Lots of great series, some of my best videos yet, and I even managed to cut off some toxic influences and make new friends. I've already said before that 2023 started at the lowest point I've been at in my life, but it's only up from here. Probably. So, I imagine many of you are waiting for me to say what the big changes are that I teased in a community post the other day. I was gonna start with a too bad and do my whole yearly recap thing I usually do, but I want to be as brief with this video as possible, so yeah. I want to preface this by thanking you all for everything over the past few years. This channel has been a huge part of my life for nearly half of my life, basically, and even if a lot of it is lost to time, I still cherish everything I've done on here. With that, guys, we need to talk. So, we need to talk about a video by a certain guy I noticed a short while ago. A little video by a man named Matthew called Goodbye, Internet. Oh, I'm not quitting. No. I know it's been a decade and all the big YouTubers are reflecting on their stuff and trying to scare their audience with all of it. I just want to talk about that video a little bit. So, in that video, MatPat talks about how his career as a YouTuber has made it difficult to just kick back and hang out with his wife. When I watched the video, the idea of that and his using that as a reason to retire really resonated with me, but I wasn't sure why. Then, on January 15th, I was pre-recording an episode of Three Hopes when I decided to start talking about MatPat's video, and I brought up the idea of me quitting, specifying that I wasn't about to quit YouTube anytime soon. Hell, I'm barely getting started. But I'd have to quit one day. That I'd only be doing Let's Plays for so long. And then I started talking about the pros and cons of quitting doing LPs, and I kinda gave myself an existential crisis. Why not do it sooner? Why do I play games like this? I thought about it for the better part of a week. I didn't know what I was doing or if I should continue doing it at all. I need to put something in perspective for you guys. On my backlogged account, I have 212 games that I've either marked as played or playing that I've at least actually played. I have a joke review of Overwatch, which is a game I've never touched. Do you want to know how many of those games I've never played on my channel or for any form of YouTube content anywhere else? Only 54. 54 of 212 games. They're not all on my channel, and some of them used to be and no longer are. But either way, only 54 have never touched this channel. Does that not sound crazy? It does to me. Look, I don't want to feel the need to over-justify this decision, or to explain every pro and con, why I want to do this, or my regrets in doing so. But I'm stating here and now that I'm done doing LPs on my channel. This wasn't a decision I came to easily, trust me on that. In doing this, I feel like I'm letting down a lot of people, and I know that I literally am. The amount of games I've had requested to me, the series I have unfinished, and the value that I know I've provided in doing these playthroughs, small as my channel is, I don't think I can ever make this choice without having lingering regrets or thoughts that I'm disappointing people. I know people enjoy and have enjoyed this content, and I don't want to pretend that this decision won't make some people leave, nor do I want to ignore what they've done for my channel and for me. It means so much that this content has brought even just a little bit of value to people out there that I'll likely never even meet. Trust me, I've considered alternatives. I considered cutting my schedule entirely, uploading whenever I feel like. I considered doing compiled long plays. I considered doing best of montages. I considered doing streams. I considered only LPing visual novels or very particular other games. But every time I thought of another option, I ended up shooting it down with the same reasons every time. And those reasons, I'm sorry to say, aren't really relevant. I'm just not doing it anymore. But don't think that means that I don't treasure the playthroughs that I've done, or that I didn't have fun doing them, or that they or I am going anywhere. Now, I'm sure this brings up some questions, so let's just rapid fire them. 1. What about your unfinished playthroughs of Console Arcs and Three Hopes? They're gonna remain unfinished. I'll play the games on my own time, though, because I am still enjoying them greatly. 2. What about Your Turn to Die when 3-2 comes out? I don't know on that, if I'm honest, but I have time to think on it. 3. What about Caconia? Oh, that one's not an issue. It's already recorded. Whenever that content embargo is lifted, I'll post those, old as the videos are at this point. But if or when Phase 2 comes out, the fact that I have to say if, I'm not going to do a Let's Play of it. 4. Are you not going to do LPs ever again? Hard to say, but I don't think I'll be doing any anytime soon. 5. What about the games that I or others requested? Do you think me incapable of playing games anyway? I don't mean to sound rude, but I trust your guys' judgment. Just because I won't do an LP of it, it doesn't mean that I'll share literally nothing of my experience or that I won't still play them. 6. What about your funny character voices? What about them? Do you think I don't just do them by myself on occasion or do bits in real life? Do you think I can't incorporate them into my future content? Come on. 7. What's the future content then? I'm so glad you asked. Because I've already been doing some of that. The boycotts video essay from last year, my seasonal anime previews videos, other video essays like the Ryza anime one, etc. Just whatever I want to do. And I've got some good shit in store, y'all. I ask that you look forward to it. 8. Will you divulge any of your reasons for cutting LPs altogether? You know what? Sure. So, not doing them gives me more time to work on content that I'm, sorry to say, just more proud of. Content that I'm less embarrassed by. Content that's more authentic to me. Not to mention, time for my personal life. To do things without feeling tied down by a self-imposed schedule to play video game for an hour. I can play games for longer or shorter. It gives me more freedom both in my future content and in how I'll be able to play games. Think about that. I haven't had a session of a game that lasted shorter than 45 minutes outside of like Genshin or Star Rail in years. This is just preferable for me. It's better for me. It's healthier for me. To explain even further, which I didn't originally want to do, but just to be fully transparent, doing LPs takes a lot more energy than just playing a game does. Commentary, trying to be entertaining, doing voices or reading text aloud, it's not as simple as just recording yourself playing a game, as a lot of people on the internet will claim. I don't want to decry people who do LPs on here. I have a lot of respect for people who can make their experiences with a game entertaining in a way that extrapolates from the game they're already playing. And I'd like to think that I was able to do that with my playthroughs. But I don't think it's a form of content that works for me anymore, let alone one that I want to continue doing as I have. They're more restrictive, they're more stressful. Trying to make each episode cover a good amount of content so that an episode isn't just menuing or something like that, and that they're a healthy length of time without being bloated. It's like pacing a game that's already paced by the people who made it. It just doesn't work. I can't know what the good stopping points are. I have to decide them on my own. I don't know if I'm 2 lines of dialogue from the end of a chapter in a VN, or 1 fight away from the end of a level in any other game. It's just too much for me anymore. Needless to say, I'm burnt out. I need more control over my content. I don't want to get stressed about technical difficulties or background noise or interruptions or having to make sure I'm done so I can get to work or another commitment or eat or even going to bed sometimes or having to make time for the recordings themselves just about every day or having to take a bathroom break in the middle of a recording. And that's about the main reason why I'm moving to primarily scripted content. I'm still going to do the occasional unscripted thing, tier lists on top of other things. I even have some that I've got in my backlog. But other things, maybe, possibly, I don't know yet, to be confirmed. I hope that's not too disappointing to anybody. I hope it's more exciting than it is disappointing. So, yeah. Oh, right, questions. 9. Hey, you mentioned streaming. Will you ever do that again? Maybe. I have ideas. There's things I could do. But I'm saying right here that I'm not doing regular video game playthroughs on there. Nuh-uh. I'll have more info on this in the future. And lastly, 10. You mentioned that you would still share parts of your experiences with different games. How will you go about that? A few ways. The primary way will be through my new content, whether that be video essays, reviews, etc., whatever I choose to do. I'll try to be transparent about what I'm doing, both on here in my community tab and on my Twitter account, for as long as that website is worth using at least. After that, it'll be on my Blue Sky account. Both of those will be linked below. I also have a backlogged account that I mentioned earlier where I don't really go into details on games, but I give funny little reviews to games I play, and you can track what my scores are for different games as well as what I'm currently playing or have already played. I'm certainly not going to make videos on every game I ever play from now on, but I'll be collecting footage left, right, and center as I go through them for the purposes of having footage for this new content. You never know, also, when I'll have a funny clip to share. Even if I'm not doing commentary or funny voices or, God forbid, wearing headphones, forgot to mention, that shit hurts. That shit fucks with me at this point. I'll still be able to catch moments reminiscent of the floating car in GTA, or the tripping scene in Blood Drive, the Dark Nut fight in Minish Cap, or the 6th run-in with the deranged fucking king in Ryza 3. Again, I may not be doing commentary anymore, but I sure do have ADHD and therefore talk to myself most of the time anyway. Bitch, even before 2014, I was pretending I was a Let's Player. I'll probably post some of that stuff as little clips on here, maybe in my scripted videos, or possibly on Twitter. And speaking further of Twitter, I'll likely be sharing as much as I consider worthwhile of my thoughts on different games as I play through them on there. Maybe the occasional live tweet thread, and I'll be starting a media thread on there where I'll give more serious thoughts on any piece of media I consume, as opposed to my goofy gaffes on Backlogged or any other websites I maybe potentially use in the future. I do keep secrets, though. I even now have secret projects in the works and have played a couple games that I plan on making videos on in the future, so look forward to that. Should specify, those are not games I would have Let's Played. No shot. It'll make sense when I post that video, whenever that is. So, yeah, I hope I didn't disappoint anybody too much. This is the change. Oh, and also I'm gonna rebrand my channel, meaning the profile picture and the banner, I'm keeping the name. I might nuke the banner as a whole until I can get an actually good one if I can't find one I like otherwise, or maybe just have some dumb joke there. But I don't know how to go about the profile picture. Needless to say, as I've gotten older and understood myself more, I'm not really vibing with the Godzilla mascot that 13-year-old me chose, thinking it looked cool. Not everyone on this site has a hand-drawn caricature of themselves as their profile picture. Some have just frames of an anime or a character render or something, so we'll see. I'll cook, just give me time. One last thing, though, as I was in my thinking phase after the 15th, I noticed another upload from Game Theory titled, "You're Playing Video Games Wrong." It's nothing to do with LPs, it's literally about childhood development with playing video games, but I just thought it was funny. Anyways, here's to a new era. I'll have the fucking winter previews video ready as soon as I can, and I will again promote my Twitter, Blue Sky, and Backlogged. Thank you all for putting up with me for as long as you've managed. See ya for now, and just one last time, have a good time of day, guys.